What is self-worth? Self-worth is confidence in one's own worth or abilities. It's also self-respect or self-esteem. It's all pretty much the same concept. Self-worth comes from one thing, thinking that you are worthy. That was said by Wayne Dyer. I believe that knowing your self-worth can help someone's mental health. It's definitely something that has helped me a lot personally. I've always struggled with not seeing my worth, and then throughout the years, I just kept reminding myself of things that made me realize that I have worth, that like I'm not worthless, and it feels really good to not feel that way anymore. So talking about self-worth in hopes that other people that watch this video, or just anyone really, will be able to try new things to know their self-worth. Knowing that you are worth something and not telling yourself that you're worthless, which is what I just talked about, will help give you a positive mindset about yourself. For example, like as I was just talking about, I always struggled with seeing my self-worth. I would tell myself that I'm worthless, and so I would just try to tell myself that, I mean, it's really hard. I know it's hard to just be like, oh, like I'm worth something, but even if I didn't believe it, I thought maybe if I said it enough that I would eventually believe it. And sometimes I still struggle with it, but it definitely has helped so much to tell myself that I'm not worthless. And I have family and friends and my boyfriend that all tell me that I'm also not worthless. They remind me of my worth. They remind me that I'm doing something here, like I'm doing something in life, like I'm not just sitting around and doing nothing. Like another example, like I was having like a really bad like mental health day. I think it was like a while ago, and I felt like I didn't mean anything to anyone, or like I didn't have a reason to be here, a little bit dark, but I talked to my boyfriend about it, and he gave me like this whole speech of like reasons as to why I'm worth more than I think. And he told me things as like that, like I'm kind and like I'm smart, and like I have a job, so like I'm working, like I'm doing something, I'm doing schooling. He just told me a whole bunch of things to remind me that like I'm doing stuff in this life, and even if I don't think it's much, that maybe eventually someday I will do more. As well as telling yourself that you have a purpose. Like these all are kind of the same, they all kind of connect, but definitely telling yourself that you have a purpose, which again, pretty much what I just talked about. Yeah, like knowing that you have a purpose and not thinking that you don't have a purpose will definitely like make you realize that you have worth. Like sometimes I will forget that I have a purpose on this earth. Like I'm doing something here clearly. Even if you don't figure it out right away, you're gonna figure out eventually. Like everyone here is doing something, whether like starting as like a child, like everyone's doing something to help out the world, like, or yourself, like friends, family. I don't know how to explain it very well, but that's just another thing that someone could tell themselves to remind themselves that they're actually worth something is keeping negative thoughts and toxic people out of your life. Like that'll just like improve your mental health so much, and then make you realize your worth, and like just like trust me, but also kind of explain why. But like I have had some toxic people in my life, especially someone that I thought was my best friend, and it took me a long time to get rid of these toxic people and person in particular. And because like I just didn't see it because I thought that like it was my fault that they were being this way, and they made me feel worthless and made me feel like garbage, like my mental health was so bad. It just wasn't a good situation. And I'm sure for this person that their mindset must be negative if they feel like they have to be negative and bad to someone else. But eventually, once I got rid of that person and people, it just felt like a weight was off my shoulders, you know? It was like I didn't have to worry about seeing things being said about me on social media or hearing things from my friends about what this person would say about me. And I stopped feeling worthless all the time. I stopped feeling powerless. And I could just like feel like my mental health like go from like a 0 to like moving up to like a 4 and like a 6 and an 8 and like so on. I mean, some days it's not that great, but it is like it's helpful. And also having kind and caring friends and helpful friends, you know, supportive, having good people in your life, friends, family, significant other, it's having them give you positive reinforcement will also help your mental health, and then having them remind you that you're worth something will help you. It'll help you realize your self-worth is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And everyone is worth something. Everyone deserves to feel like they are worth something. No one deserves to feel like they're worthless. So I just want to say to remind yourself that you're worth something, that you mean something, that you have a purpose, pretty much all the same concept. Work on your negative thoughts. I know it's hard. It is hard. It's a long process. Get rid of toxic, negative people and things out of your life. Like, that'll just make you feel so much better. But yeah, knowing your worth is definitely important to maintaining a healthy mental state. And I just want to let you all know that you do mean something.